Yandere Dev. I'm pretty sure you've heard of this guy at least once or twice on the internet, not only from the fact that he's a laughingstock due to the fact that he's so incompetent at making video games, but also due to the fact that he's a really bad person in general, mainly due to the fact that he's had so many controversial takes, and mainly due to the fact that he's been included in so many dramas, not even from years ago, but as of recently as well. The guy has managed to put himself into a loophole of stuff where he manages to have a constant base of hate, but also a constant base of support as well. The only reason why this guy is relevant is because of some game idea, which at the same time has never even had a proper release, and even when it did have its release, it's still broken into the basic state as it was, with barely or little improvements at all. So today I'm going to be talking about Yandere Dev and the stuff he's been up to as of recently. So let's get into the video. Now, first, this may have not seemed like a problem, because Yandere Dev was just doing his own thing. He was being a VTuber and just streaming, minded his own business. He was out of drama as well, so you could say that was good for him as well. But this all started to go downhill when he decided to go ban one of his moderators. Now, just to remind you, this wasn't something over like a disagreement, but over something which the moderator had no control over. See, the person had DID, or dissociative identity disorder, where the person has two personalities which he can't, or he or she can't control at the time, and it's something that kind of randomly happens. So once again, it's nothing you can control, and it's just like that. That's how it is. It's a mental disorder. But of course, what Yandere Dev decided to do after this initial event happened was to ban the person, and on top of that, decide to go out of his way and to go out of his way and try and say that it was fake, and say it was only something that was made up. Now, I'm not trying to say that people can't fake mental disorders, or that people can't fake, I don't know, having a different identity to try and back out of a situation, because hell, there's people that have done that even as of recently, a certain YouTuber, which I'm not going to mention. But at the same time, for you to go out of your way to ban someone for something which happened once, and over something like someone's voice being different, and over something which they can't control, only to go and ban them and publicly say that, oh yes, this stuff is just fake and only meant up for sympathy. It's one of the scummiest things which I've seen so far, especially from this guy. But I guess I shouldn't be surprised when he says that people with autism shouldn't be born. But I should continue on. But the most ironic thing about him saying all this stuff about Chris is the fact that when it comes to this whole situation, and when he talks about this stuff, he says that he can't take it anymore and can't pretend like it's not one of the weirdest, dumbest, and cringiest things ever. When Alex has done stuff which has been weird, dumb, and cringy within itself. I'm sorry, dude, but that's pretty hypocritical coming from someone like yourself. But another thing to add on top of the irony has to be the fact that this guy has such an easy time making fun of someone and trying to ridicule someone over a mental disability, which is real, but at the same time has such an easy time just defending pedophiles, which are people which have mental disorders, or people which are just genuinely fucked up human beings. And the reason why he defends them is because he says that it's not right to judge someone because of their mental disabilities. And I have to say, isn't that hypocritical then? I don't get what type of point this guy is trying to make. How can you at 1 minute try and say something like, oh yes, we shouldn't make fun of this certain group of people because they have a mental disability which they can't control, while at the same time openly being up in your Discord and saying shit to people like this, trying to say that, oh, it's all just fake, and it's something which is only meant for cringy roleplay, and it's not real. Like, imagine being that much of a fucking idiot to the point where you can't even have a solid point straight, or where you can't even be consistent with your points. It's just sad and fucking cringy, man. And I don't know what this guy is trying to prove, but if anything, he failed miserably with this. But once again, let's keep going on with the video. Now, in response to this whole situation, what happened was that 8 of Yandere Dev's moderators decided to leave him for good, which I don't know why they didn't do it earlier, but hey, at least they left. And on top of that, the guy pretty much was just making fun of this guy on a constant daily basis, which was fucked up. He eventually apologized, but that doesn't fix anything because he tried to toss the blame and say that, oh well, it was a yandere anti-yandere dev community which took it out of context, when it's kind of hard to say that when you were legitimately just making fun of someone and trying to say that their mental disability just didn't exist. And on top of that, constantly making fun of someone for this situation and then trying to say that it's cringy and shit like that is just not right. It's fucked up. And the fact that you tried to toss the blame to someone else when you clearly are responsible for knowing what you're doing is just fucking sad. But unfortunately, Alex decided to go double down on what he said, and he wasn't actually sincere about what he said on his own website, as it was all fake. He just said that, oh well, it might be real, but I don't really believe it. And on top of that, he just banned him because he didn't feel like it. There was no actual reason to why he did what he did, and he just kind of used the same defense that he used his last time. And once again, it's just pretty damn sad. And on top of that, this guy legitimately pushed this man to the brink of suicide, and he just didn't care. Imagine having one of your fans, one of your defenders, just kicked for no reason, and all just for something as petty as you disagreeing with something and having a mindset which is just not right. Imagine being that much of a horrible person to the point where you treat your fans like shit, and so much to the point where you just don't care about their well-being. I get that you have your own priorities and that you might not want to care, but at the same time, the fact that you pushed this guy to the brink of suicide, and the fact that you pushed your fans away and treated them like garbage really makes me wonder about how you even still have a fan base. It's kind of sad knowing about how this yandere dev situation just continues to get worse with every incident that happens. As I said before, one moment it'll be something as simple as maybe a copyright strike, or maybe him being shitty with his game and his server, but at the same time, it'll go to something as bad as this, with him defending pedophiles but apparently just making fun of other people with mental disabilities, and on top of that, just treating his fans like shit and just genuinely not caring. You know, at one point I can feel sad for you because I can understand people not having patience when it comes to making a game, or people probably hating you for no reason, but you know what? You don't deserve a fan base, Alex, and you genuinely just don't even deserve the time of day. I hope your game burns to the ground by the time it finally releases that no one cares, because your game isn't worth anyone's time, and you're just a sad sack of shit. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video and got the message. That's all, folks. Level 360 out, and later.